further questions for Curt?
John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. Coach, how you doing?
Well,
All right. I'm doing better too. So that's good to hear. Talk to me about this game though. Like, if any team you have to play tough against, you have to play tough against the Dallas Wings to even have a chance. What have you done over the past day or so to get there?
yeah, obviously, I'm excited about this matchup because with a young team playing a team for a second time. And what do we learn from the first game, which was a 1-point loss? What did we do well? Can we take away from that first game? What do we need to do better? Obviously, the question that revolves around physicality and the centerpiece of having some type of success against Dallas around the league is you have to be able to rebound with them. We gave up 16 offensive rebounds. They're averaging in their wins over 50 points in the paint. The game requires physicality to be successful against their post game, but also their concerted effort consistently to get in the paint. So that physicality is going to be really important. So you can show it on film from our first game. You can, lean into the stat report. You can also look back at our last game in Minnesota and, keep using that as teaching tools on how they disrupted us and made us have a very difficult first half offensively. So all learning lessons. The hard part about this cadence of the season is you got to learn in games because games are basically every other day now for the next 3 weeks. And so I'm anxious to get back into our lab and teach throughout the game tonight.
Coach Eric Michaels, the second Culver City Observer. Good afternoon. What are the coaching points and keys to victory that you'll be looking for tonight?
Yeah, I think consistency from the beginning. We put ourselves in a hole early, and while we made runs, even against Minnesota, I think we had a 13-0 run and manageable late in that fourth quarter to potentially get it to single digits and make them feel us. But the consistency throughout the game, we've had stretches where we've gone scoreless for too long. We've had stretches where turnovers have hurt us. So we're looking for some consistency. Our growth is having the confidence and the dedication to try not to get speed up. And at times this year, we've been sped up. Some of it's, our inconsistent point play with Leja out for a week. Ari McDonald has been really, gutting through an ankle injury and then playing with some non-traditional point guards because of that situation. So, but they're not the only ones. We've been sped up in a lot of positions. So looking for us to control the tempo and find a tempo that we can play and be successful at. And then we had a really good first game against Dallas in the paint back at them. And so can we get the ball in the paint again and then start spraying it around if we can get the ball to the paint?
Hey, Coach. Judo Kong, Sandberg Media. I'm curious about these two young players, Ray Burrell and Zaya Cook. We talked a little bit yesterday about your ideas about film. I'm curious, what do they need to show you in game, but also in the film room to really get more of those consistent minutes? Right now, both of them kind of fluctuating up and down. Maybe it's 5 minutes one game, 13 minutes another. What do you want to see from both of them in the film room, practice, and in game as well?
Yeah, I think we ask the same of all our players and put deposits in the bank. Ray and I talked about how strong she finished last year and then had a lot of knick-knacky things throughout a training camp and was never able to get in rhythm. And then, coming into the season because she didn't have that consistent training camp, she's earning her way back into those opportunities. And she's really sparked us now in stretches and starts to look like her old self. She herself is, nursing an ankle injury. Zaya, same kind of thing. They're both, Ray's a year older, but didn't have a rookie season because of injury. So they're essentially both in very, very early stages of their second year playing in this league. So Zaya has really grown defensively from her rookie year. Love to see that. she's going to be important tonight in stretches where we got to go put her on Enrique. And one of the toughest asks that you can ask for a player guarding in the league. She's the elite one-on-one player in our league. Doesn't need a lot of help. She can just isolate you and make you feel like you're on an island. So look forward to Zaya getting some of those opportunities. And then Zaya, she knows offensively, it's trying to find some efficiency and while staying aggressive. We love that she will hunt for shots and stay aggressive, but we're, asking her to find efficiency, which is so important at this level. And what separates in games that come down to very thin margins and those opportunities, efficiency is important for your entire team.
Coach Edward Garcia, Social Field. Both teams going into this matchup are 0-2 in the Commissioner Cup standing, so a win's obviously very important given it's only 5 games in the competition. How much have you talked to the team about the Commissioner Cup, the implications of these games, and the attempt of trying to get that top spot in the West?
Yeah, I think our team understands that it's a short sprint of the Commissioner Cup with only 5 games this year. So obviously tonight, really important. Bigger picture wise, we're trying to get better and we know we're in a build and we know who we are and we're not satisfied with how we're playing. And it's not just wins and losses. We're just not satisfied that we're playing to our potential. And it starts with me. And one of the things that I take pride in, call your teams champions or call your teams whatever they are during the season. But I spent 13 years as a Division I head coach and then transitioned to the pro game. And now in my 9th year as a head coach at the pro level, so 22 years, I will be honest with you, 9 games, 10 games here in a couple hours into my belt. Like I could justify and look in the mirror at 21 years, almost every single one of those, you could justify that teams I've coached have overachieved. And I think that's the biggest compliment you can get for a coach. And I have not got this team to overachieve yet. And we need to overachieve, and that's our goal. And to, we potentially feel a little bit disrespected and not widely believe that we can make a run at this. And it's my job to find ways for this team to overachieve, and I haven't done that yet. So it starts with me to get these guys in position to be successful and help them. That starts with me, and I just haven't done a good enough job to help them with the physicality, with finding their pace, getting our turnovers down low. And I'm going to work tirelessly to, at the end of the year, to hopefully, we look around the room again and say we got that team to overachieve.
Hey, Coach, Fredo here with the Sporting Tribune. Have you made a decision on tonight's starting lineup yet?
The way things go with injuries, I want to see us warm up, but we got a lot of people fighting through things that maybe are, more or less, some are more, some are less public than others. So we'll take a look at how warm-ups are going and make that, decision about in an hour.
Coach, you've talked about this physicality and that you guys need to improve upon it. I'm curious about the communication you guys have on defense. It seems in the past few games, teams have easily been able to backdoor cut and get off-ball screens. How do you feel the communication has been on the defensive side?
Yeah, I think inconsistent. I think a lot of our things are inconsistent. I think it's fair observation. And I will tell you, that's what most of the teams have looked like playing Minnesota this year. They challenge with their movement, their tempo in and out of everything they're doing. They have great cutting on the weak side of the floor. So they really challenge that. But without question, that's one of the things that comes last. And I'm anxious for it to come with young teams, with teams and players that haven't played together. We're playing a lot of combinations that have just not, frankly, have any experience together. And you look at that Minnesota team and, their top 7 or 8. I mean, they don't play a rookie in the top 8. And when you look at that starting lineup, they're all like 7-year pros and beyond. They're like, they don't even have Diamond Miller in the, lineup. You got to get to Dorka off the bench before you get to someone really young. They're playing, veterans that just have played in this league for a long time. So Communication is, we have a sense of urgency on it. It's important. It doesn't take talent. But again, when everything's going so fast for young people, you start to worry about what you're doing and you forget to communicate with everybody else around you. And that's a growth. And again, this year it's going to be learning in games. So we get back to our lab here in a couple hours and we'll get back after it.
Coach,
Yep.
Cam was able to have some rhythm offensively last time you faced Dallas with 21 points. What's the key to continuing to grow that confidence tonight?
Yeah, I think they did a really good job. There was certainly intent that we wanted to move McCowan, and McCowan was either going to guard De'Erica or Cam. And when our players saw that McCowan was matched up with Cam, we got Cam in space. We moved Cam, and there was great intent by our players to understand that, and great understanding by Cam on where are your strengths against Tierra, who's tremendously talented rim protector and around the rim. So again, our intent tonight in different areas and what we're scheming for offensively, I'm going to look for, and hopefully, we're sitting in here tonight and excited, regardless of the win or loss, but excited about our intent to go after the people we want to go after and put people in action that we want in action and put our own players in positions to be successful. We had a good night against Dallas in a lot of ways, and Cam was one of those.
Thank you, Curt.
Thank you.